Whew, wildest tattoo experience.
I can't go on camera with that one, man.
I've spent the last 2 years traveling the world, and the shit that I've seen and encountered is so mind-blowing that I'm almost numb to it. And I feel like the crazier shit gets, the more I think that's normal.
What I still don't understand is artists sleeping with their clients. And I've literally been in shops where it's like, if the guy who owns the shop, if his private room doors are closed, you know that he's giving a little happy ending to the tattoo. And it's really awkward, or I don't know, I personally don't do it. Maybe I'm different, but it's kind of common in the industry, and it's kind of weirds me out a little bit.
The wildest tattoo experience, probably when I was an apprentice, and it was probably my third tattoo, and two very large heavy-set women came in, drunker than hell, because we worked in downtown San Diego, and I actually tattooed paw prints going up their up their legs into their fun zone.
I mean, this one dude came in, I wasn't doing anything, I just finished a tattoo. He's never had a tattoo before, and he wanted some Spanish word that he didn't even know what the meaning was right on his face. And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna do it. And he was literally just begging me to do it, and he was like, dude, if you don't do it right now, I'm walking out, going to the next shop, and I'm gonna pay them to do it. So I raised the price, and he was like, dude, I'm down, and just did his first tat on his face with a word that he had no idea what it meant.
The one I just did at 43,000 miles, my friend Bang did a 40,000 to Justin Bieber, and I commended to my friend who is also a musician, Maluma. We were talking about that. He's like, oh, we should do it like a higher one. So like, yeah, sure. And by coincidence, we were at a convention in Puerto Rico, so we met up one night in Puerto Rico, and they said, oh, we should do it this time, going back to Miami. So like, sure, let's do it. So it came out really spontaneous, and we talked with the pilot, and we did it. That was just very unexpected, I think. I thought that was going to be hard because turbulence, but it was not. Probably was the most steady flight I ever had in my life.
I think I only did gang tattoos at that time in my life when I was incarcerated. Hey, I just got 300 years. Can you tattoo my gang on my forehead before I catch the chain, which means before I leave to go start my 300-year sentence, and I'm sitting there sweating bullets, making sure I don't, fuck some dude's face up that's just...
I ended up going to tattoo a friend of mine in a hotel, and she didn't tell me that they were gonna be selling drugs out of this hotel. This was 15 years ago, whatever, years and years ago. And so I walk in, and it's just all gangsters, and I'm not expecting this at all. It's there's 10 gangbangers just telling me, oh, I'm gonna tattoo their face, all this stuff. I'm just like, man, until my friend walks in and he knew everyone, and then everything was cool. And yeah, it was scary.
So one time, I accidentally got tattooed while I was tripping on acid. And I really did not plan it out that way. I did not even plan to do the acid. I was 1 minute, I was fine. Next thing you know, I got dosed with three hits of acid. I had no idea. I had an awful trip. I was like, what is going on? And then I had a tattoo appointment with this girl on Instagram, Rizaboo, and she's from the UK. I had already made the appointment, I already gave her money, so I didn't want to cancel. I couldn't reschedule. So I went and I got the tattoo. And it's in the worst spot too. It's right here. I put a hoodie over my head, and I was just looking into the darkness. I was listening to Animal Collective and just watching shapes and just being like, why am I like this?
One of the craziest tattoo experiences that I've had in the beginning of my career, I actually had a client who was a homeless man, and he was really on the streets with his sleeping bag and everything. And when I tell you that you could smell this man coming from down the street to walk in the shop, you could smell him before he walked in. He gets in the shop, we would have to clear out the entire shop because it would just be unfair to the other clients for them to sit in there while that man was in there. But we didn't want to turn him away because he used his, I don't know, I think it was his VA check or his Social Security check, and he got tattoos. Now the craziest thing is, this man claimed that he was a witch, and he had tattoos on him that said that he was a witch. He had the craziest stuff written on him. Every time he got tattooed, he would get a devil symbol or a Star of David, and then the words like witch and stuff like that. And then one time, actually, one of my coworkers, he put a curse on one of my coworkers, and we think it was real to this day. So yeah, I tattooed a witch, and he stunk. That's one of my craziest tattoo experiences.
All my weird experiences were, I think, being an apprentice and working in more street shops and stuff, and seeing kind of like that late night crew drunk like come in and
all the crazy weird drunk shit.
Yeah, I remember like as an apprentice coming in the shop, there was this drunk woman masturbating. She was getting a tattoo. Yeah, and she had her oh my God, was it her niece or someone was there?
What?
Yeah, it was really
In front
weird.
of the niece?
It was really weird.
Yeah.
And then she
gonna scar that
disappeared,
girl for life.
and the niece was there because for like collateral, because she had to go and pay and she didn't have money.
That sounds
so
so
she had to
stressful.
leave. Yeah, she had to leave to go get money, and she didn't come back for a long time. And as a little apprentice kid, I felt so bad.
Were you talking to her?
Yes, I felt terrible for the niece.
She probably is in counseling for that, for sure, at this point.
Probably.
The one I'm going to tell you is the story of this young woman. She decided to come and get a tattoo for me when I was about 15 years ago, so about 2 years into my tattoo experience. So I wasn't that experienced. So my hand control and my whole experience with knowing how to tattoo certain areas was very limited. So she wanted me to tattoo a design right above her flower. So, I tried to be gentlemanly about it, but I couldn't avoid where I had to put my hands because the tattoo was like a flower, like tribal pattern, like literally right up above her flower. So I was delicately putting my hands around and kept saying, "Pardon me, excuse me, I'm sorry." And she's, "Oh, no problem, no problem, no problem." And, I'm doing some heavy shading. It's a big, heavy coil machine. It's vibrating like crazy. And she's kind of getting into it, like where she's moaning and making these weird sounds. And I'm like, am I hurting this girl? It must be really painful. And I'm feeling really bad. I'm so sorry if I'm hurting. She's, no, it's okay. Just keep going. And I keep going, and I'm working it. I'm like, I'm almost done. She said, no, it's okay. Just keep going. I'm like, I'm going at it. She's making these sounds, and she's whispering to her friend, and it just keeps getting louder and louder. And I'm like, man, I am killing you. I'm so sorry. And so I turn around to get to my inks and my setup and get some paper towels, and I can lightly hear her whispering to her friend. She's like, I just had 2 orgasms. And I'm like, did I just hear you right? I was like, wait, stop. You didn't, are you being serious right now? She goes, I'm sorry, yeah. I just had 2 orgasms. And I'm like, wow. But I did the tattoo, finished it up. I said I was sorry for having to put my hands in near the area at all. And she's like, it's okay. It was good for me. Was it good for you? I couldn't figure out who was tipping who at that moment.
I was 19 or 20. I had been tattooing probably like a couple of years, and I was traveling Middle East, and I was in Sinai, the border between Israel and Egypt, in the desert, in a Bedouin village with population under 1,000 people, no cars, just camels. Everybody lived in this. It was like over the Red Sea. And there was these guys, Egyptian guys, but some of them had big tattoos, and they're like, oh, they lived in Italy, they lived in Europe, like, oh, they want tattoos, and they were like, come to my place and we feed you. And they fed me all day, they got me high, we were best friends, and I tattooed them, and there was like 6 of them, and it was me and my friend, and they were like, they were sketchy dudes, but whatever, like, I'm Colombian, whatever. And when it finishes, the guy is like, gives me like the equivalent to like $1. And I'm like, dude, this is not what I told you. He's like, that's all I got. And if you got a problem, there's 6 of us. And I remember my pride, my everything. I just wanted to kill him, and I wish I was fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme or one of those guys, but I was not. These guys were way bigger than me, way older. They had way more street than I did. And I just look outside and I just see all these little lights and 200 people which are related to them, not me. And I remember I was just like, fuck, man. And the worst thing is I had to see them for the next week that I stayed there and pretend that we were cool, because what was I gonna do?
this girl came in and wanted to get her fingers tattooed, and she didn't, and, you know, it was like all her fingers. I was kind of thinking, okay, well, whatever. You know, girls are way tougher than guys in tattoos. Like, they've got that pain threshold, you know. So I'm like, cool, get all your fingers done. And we got like 3 of them, and she started looking pale, and I was like, oh shit, you all right? And then she kind of like went like this. I threw the machine, I kind of caught her head, and I was holding her up, and I just hear like it looks like somebody's pouring water in the sink. And I look, and she's peeing, but she's wearing like short shorts, right? So it's just like Niagara Falls, and I'm like, oh. And my buddy who's tattooed right there goes, dude. And I was like, oh, and she was still out, just going, like, just letting one go. I was like, I'm talking like she was hydrated. I'm not saying like she peed a little. Like, I'm saying like she was ready to run the LA Marathon and she didn't want to fucking die. So she kind of comes to, and I'm like standing, like she wrecked my area. It was a lot of piss. And I'm kind of standing in it now, and I'm kind of already burned out about that. And I go, hey, she's like kind of coming to, and I said, hey, when you're ready, you might want to go use the restroom. She goes, well, why? I didn't want her to like freak out and go out again. I said, well, and she goes, did I pee? I go, yeah, a little bit. And she's like, oh, start freaking out again. After she kind of like goes to the bathroom and comes back, there's literally like an inch of piss like in my area. And she goes, okay. I said, so we're gonna be done today. She goes, you're not gonna do the rest of them? I'm like, hell no, dude, you are 8, 6, boom, booyah, you pay me for half.
It's either between me helping my mentor tattoo a porn star's butthole and like things coming out of it, and that's kind of tied with this couple that came in and they got tattooed by me and they switched, and the girlfriend went in and OD'd in the bathroom. That was on the Venice Boardwalk. That was super interesting, and obviously I didn't get paid. Basically, a girl came in, a fine young woman came in with a profession of porn, and she was an anal star, and she wanted the world to know that no matter what. So she wanted a star around her butthole. So we had to like soup up in the full plastic sleeves, face masks, whole 9 yards. And I was unfortunately the spreader and holder, and he was going in, and I saw colors and fluids and things and pulsating, and it looked more like a monster than a butthole.
That's worse than anything we've ever done on that show, first of all. So you could have started there.
The smell alone, yeah. There's secretions and things that come out when the needle hits that aren't normal, I don't think.
Okay, you can please stop with the story. Thank you, that was enough.
Client in San Diego. He's pretty well known in San Diego area. He lives there. He's in his 80s, and we call him Wild Bill. And he basically goes around to all the tattoo shops in San Diego. It's kind of a staple of being a tattoo artist there is to tattoo this guy. And the very first shop I worked at in San Diego was just fresh out of my apprenticeship. I had done maybe 20 tattoos before, and this guy walks in and he just gets butt-ass naked to get a tattoo this big, like on his leg. Super unnecessary. But he always gets completely naked to get a tattoo. His ideas are always very random. He pretty much just collects like singular tattoos around his body. So he at the time had like over 300 tattoos that were just individual, countable tattoos. And he wanted a Casper the Friendly Ghost like flash that was on the wall, but he was like, I want to do something different. I was like, okay, how do you make that different? It's Casper the Ghost, it looks one way. He was like, I want him to have a dick. And just what made it worse was all my coworkers who are, you know, way older than me, been tattooing way longer, are just videotaping the entire thing, taking pictures, making me feel super awkward. And to this day, hold it against me and won't give me the footage.
My wife tattooed me, and she tattooed our gender reveal. It's on my arm here. I just went to the gym this morning and I did like a lot of bicep curls, so my arms are a bit pumped today. She did this gender reveal. Originally we had the whole balloon thing where it had the confetti inside of the color of the sex. So my brother, his son was playing with our balloon at dinner, and then he was fucking around with it, and then oh shit, can I swear? Oh yeah, shit, fuck it. So he let it go, and then the balloon just went into the air, and yeah, that kind of ruined the whole surprise thing. So me and my wife, the next day, we went and did this tattoo. I asked her if she could tattoo the Itza, and then 2 boxes, boy and girl. I helped her throughout the whole process. That's why you can see these little lightning lines. They're supposed to be crooked because on the streets they call me Thor. So I like lightning. My tattoos are like lightning. See that? See it? It's like Malnor, but this is like the Stormbreaker. Well, she did a tattoo, and then when she was about to do the X, I looked away, she did the X, and then she put the foam on, and then we did that whole like tattoo foam reveal. And then, yeah, so that's probably not the wildest, but that's my favorite tattoo story. And yeah.